Howdy folks, welcome to Katie Phillips Scrapbook Designs. I'm Katie and this is my little crafting zone. Used to be my crafting nook and I'm still getting used to the idea of having a full-size craft room available. Today we're going to continue with the Hello Again album, and we're going to work on fin number 3, the last fin in this album. And apparently I had some ideas set aside, so we'll work with those. But for this album, we are working with the Hello Again collection by Caitlin Schaefer for Echo Park. And we've got most of the papers still available. Plus, I've got a couple of solid cardstock pieces set aside. So let's grab some pattern papers and a cutter, and let's figure out what dimensions we need. So here's my little notebook with all my little notes about what we've got going on. So for the mats, we're going to need 2 at 5 3/4 for the base pages, and actually we're going to need 3 at 5 3/4 for the base pages. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take one that's 5 1/4 and we're going to slice that diagonally and mat the pockets with that. So let's get started with cutting. So this first mat is going to go on the front, and I kept the front very plain because it's facing the waterfall and I don't want it to get caught on the waterfall. But you know what, this would make a very nice contrast. Yeah, I like the idea of going with something bold, but not basic. Like, in my mind, this section here would be bold, but kind of basic. Not a whole lot of interest in there, but there's plenty of interest in here, and it's good and bold. So let's go with 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then on the background for the inside, what do we want to do there? You know what, I think we want to go with this piece here. So let's cut that to 5 3/4 also. And I want the same pattern on both sides. I want nice symmetry. For the pocket, to contrast with this piece here, what do we want to do? I think that would be good. So let's go with 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So cut this down to 5 1/4, and then cut this down to 5 1/4. And then I'm going to line these corners up with the blade on both sides and cut. Okay, for this page, I do want to be able to add photographs to here pretty easily. I think I'm going to add some tuck spots. move on to the last page in this album. And for this page, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna call it 3 spot mats at 5 3/4 squared. One for the base page, one for here, one for here. We don't want to fill it up too much, so I'm not going to mat the insides here. And then we're going to need mats for these 2 flaps, the bottom and the top flap. So this triangle has a base right at 12 inches wide, and we need to cut it down to 5 3/4 inches wide, which means we need to take just over 3 inches off each side. And it needs to be 5 1/4 inches tall. It's right at 6 inches. So I'm going to grab a ruler, and here that's 5 1/4. This piece should fit. And it looks like I need to come down a little bit farther. I need to come down to 5 inches. That looks perfect. So if you missed all that, take an 8 1/2 by 8 1/2 piece of paper, cut it in half diagonally, then trim the long edge down to 5 3/4 inches wide, and then you want it 5 inches tall. And I'm going to get the point adhered down first. There we go. Then we're going to repeat that 2 more times, because we actually need, well, I mean, we've got one piece here. So we're going to cut this down to 8 7/8. Then we're going to flip it over and cut it down to 5 3/4. Then we're going to cut this down to 5 inches. Make sure that's going to fit. Looks great. So around this corner. Glue this down, and then I'm going to do this one more time. We're on to the insert, which will be the last piece for this video. Trying to keep my videos under 15 minutes without having to speed the video speed up to 20 times, because that's just hard to follow. So we're going to ink the edges with fossilized amber, and this piece is 5 3/4 inches squared, I think. I cut these like a week ago. I don't remember off. Yep, 5 3/4 inches squared. We're just going to ink the edges with fossilized amber, and this is 65-pound cardstock because I originally thought that I was going to be doing a border punch on the edge, and my border punch only have one, and it absolutely hates 110-pound cardstock. But you could totally do this with 110-pound cardstock. In fact, I'm not even sure that this punch would go through 110-pound. That's how wimpy that punch is. And you know what? I think we can do some work with these little corner pieces. I kind of like that idea. I'm going to add the last of these tabs. Add that to the bottom. Before we do that, I'm going to add some glue to this because I don't trust the adhesive on these. We are done with the fins, at least as far as the matting goes. I'll probably come back and add some decorations, some stickers, etc. And this is one place where it definitely would have been advantageous to have 110-pound instead of 65-pound, just because it's got less give and it's less likely to bend. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more mini album process videos. I release new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And if you've got any questions, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. And any materials and supplies that are available at first run retail stores like Michael's and scrapbook.com, I will leave those linked in the description box down below. Bye.